Alright, so we are team name. Our game is Burnout. I am Dakota Tossey. I did the UI design and some of the level design.
I'm Ethan Everson. I did coding.
I am Julian Salgado, and I did the sound.
And we also have Jackson, which isn't here today, but they did coding and art. Also, we added volume then later, so we're not claiming that as within the time period, but that's like the only thing added from the.
So our game is about an autistic teen who is going through the effects of having a burnout. And so you have to use your energy wisely to do different tasks around your house and at school. For instance, you can see the energy bar in the top left corner and the day, the time, and change your clothes, and everything takes energy. And when you open the checklist, when you open the checklist, you can see that it gets checked off and it saves it if you go back into the game. And so you can go through the different doors and the different rooms, doing different things. Like for instance, you're brushing your teeth here. You can see all of that happening. And then we have different sound effects for all the tasks.
Like some examples would be like the microwave. We have microwave sound effects. Keys. We have keys right on the desk right there. And you must get them to go into the car. So when you go into the car, you can go to school, eat food, and then you just go back home. And then you can do other things if you want to, use up your energy or not. And when all your energy is gone, you can usually go back to your room. You got it? Go back to your room, and then you go into the bed or the bathroom, and you go into the bed. And then it's night, and then you can go to sleep. And the day's done.
And as I said, each day you have less and less energy. So on the first day, you can do every task, and then you start being able to do less and less tasks. And so you have to choose which task you want to do.
So basically, you make your own choices throughout each day, whether you want energy saved or not. But yeah, it's basically the same thing, but you get to choose what you'd like to do each day. And on Saturday, the weekend, it gets a little different.
So on the weekend, instead of going to school with your card, you go to work. And that leads to a second ending where when you do another playthrough, you can go on a date. And then since it's Saturday, you use up all your energy at work. And that's the game.
a lot of this experience that I didn't actually figure out. I'm glad to see you all show us through it. I sort of thought of a lot of these submissions as like games or experiences, and so like a really like immense experience, right? It was interesting. It told a real story, and it was just a really cool expression of a lifestyle, right? And so I appreciated that. It was very on point with it. This is another one of the really literal interpretations of the theme that I found interesting. I think you focused your art choices really solidly, right? Like the character clearly had a lot of time into it, and then it's like, yeah, there's things that were probably quicker, you didn't spend as much time on, and it's good because it's actually a really important part of like game development is knowing where to focus your time and in general on the thing everyone's going to look at the most. So it's really interesting. I had a little bit of struggle with some of the like interaction, like when I could and couldn't click on a thing, but yeah, no, it was a really interesting experience.
Yeah, this game really grew on me as I kept playing and playing. Things started to open up, and the experience grew from that. I thought it was a great use of theme. Obviously, you're doing the same thing over again, but like your actions aren't influencing that habit or that ritual is taxing on your lifestyle. I also like it got to a point where I actually had this like reflection of myself of like, oh God, yeah, okay, I don't have enough energy to do something. What would I start to? And I would start to sacrifice my health. Like I was like, you know what, I'm just not gonna eat. And like that's one of the most coolest things about video games media is to like actually question and think about that stuff on how you would act and play. So great job there. The taco was also hilarious. I don't think people got to hear it, but you had this like ominous like whoa at the end because like that's how work might feel like when you're like if you have a job like that potentially. And I also just got lost, just like, I was like, how much meat can I put on? How much cheese can I put on? And I kept going and going and going. And I also like to think that when you're at a job like that, that might be something that you challenge. You find ways to gamify maybe a monotonous job. So just really great, like, thought out game mechanics in here. And then also the secret date at the end that like brought some life, to the player, the energy. Like I thought it was a really great touch too. The sticking points that I had maybe were just minor stuff. It was the inconsistency with entering with a door and exiting with an arrow. That was confusing at first, and then the tab. I forgot that you could tab and see your checklist. So if that was even like in the world diegetically, I think that would go a long way to reminding the player of what they've done and what they still need to do. Great job.
Thematically, like the burnout theme is really felt throughout the game. I ran into a bug where I couldn't actually get out of the bedroom, so I just kind of went to bed every day over and over again, and I was like, wow, this is really exhausting. So I appreciate you guys ran through the whole video today for me to see it and see the whole experience. And that's kind of like what burnout can feel like. It's Saturday, and you're like, I guess I'm just not getting dressed today. That's okay. And I think you went to work in your pajamas. Which is like, okay, maybe, we work from home now. So yeah, I'm not saying I haven't been business on the top and party on the bottom sometimes. Good cohesion with the art. The thing I really like about this is that it focused on like world building and like some storytelling and kind of like some messaging, as opposed to like, there's no combat, which is okay. It's okay for games to kind of be like that. So this is a really great vertical slice of the whole game.
Yeah, I really appreciated how novel this game was. And also I just want to say that like the music that's just playing when you're in the house is such a bop. I love that song. But I also ran into a sticking point where I couldn't exit the bedroom, and then I just slept until Monday, and then I could. I was like, real, honestly. And then the other part I got a bit stuck on is, once I did get out of the bedroom, I went to the bathroom, and then I was trying to leave, but I was just spamming E, because I was like, surely there's a door. I guess not. So I'm also really glad you guys went through this. This game is really fun, and it has a lot of character, but it's also like super real, and I appreciate that. And I also appreciate how literal of the theme it is. I didn't have to think about it, it just was, and that is cool. You guys did a really good job.